Hello everyone, I'm Michaela Kathleen. Happy Women's History Month! This month I thought I would do a series of videos all celebrating Women's History Month, and I thought we would start with another quotes video. So I'm gonna read off some of my favorite feminist quotes, and I'll link down below my first quotes video, which was my favorite bookish quotes. So starting off, we have, "The opposite of innocence is not sin. Dearly beloved, the opposite of innocence is strength." This is from Laurie Halse Anderson from the book Shout. Actually, it is a poetry book. I have not read it myself. I have read Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. That was assigned in 9th grade for me, and I enjoyed that one a lot, so I really would like to read Shout. I am not a big poetry reader, so I'm hoping that maybe would be a good one to start with for me. But yeah, I think this is just a really great quote that could be interpreted in a lot of ways. Of course, girls are often made to feel bad when and if they have sex, and this is often disguised kind of almost lovingly as like, oh, it's a loss of innocence, you're not gonna be a kid anymore, which is just ridiculous. Everyone grows up, and you shouldn't be made to feel bad or wrong or sinful for being a human being. And then this, I think, also can be interpreted, much of this book is about sexual violence, and so this is kind of a quote I think meant to make survivors feel strong. And then also I think it can just be interpreted as like, you know, girls gotta get out there and be knowledgeable, and you know, the more knowledge you have, the more knowledge you're armed with, the stronger you will be. Next, I have several quotes from Blythe Baird. I tried to narrow these down a bit, but I just love her so much. She is a poet. Although I do not read a lot of poetry, I have been listening to more on YouTube, and she has a lot of videos over on Button Poetry. I'll link that page down below, and I strongly encourage you to search for Blythe Baird. But the first quote I have for Blythe is, "They begged us to be careful, to be safe, and then told our brothers to go out and play." And this one is just, you know, kind of about the importance of teaching our young boys about consent and rape culture and all that stuff, so that, you know, it shouldn't all be on us to prevent these things from happening to us. The next quote I have from Blythe is, "This is not to say that all men are hungry. This is not even to say that all men are hunting. But haven't we all found the bones of women stuffed like leftovers in a full man's teeth?" This is her most powerful quote for me, and I think it can be really powerful for women who maybe haven't experienced this firsthand, but who have gone through the pain of helping a friend through an experience like this. And my final quote from Blythe is, "Let us give you this reality check with a spoonful of sugar. Let us make this easier for you to hear than it is to live." So yeah, Blythe Baird's poetry is just full of really powerful words. The next quote I have is from the movie On the Basis of Sex, which is the true story of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and it is spoken between a judge and Ruth, and the judge says, "The word woman does not appear even once in the US Constitution." To which Ruth replies, "Nor does the word freedom, Your Honor." That quote is in the trailer and really just is kind of the high point of the whole movie. It's a great movie, but that statement was just really powerful. Next, I have a quote from Hamilton by Lin-Manuel Miranda. It is sung by Angelica Schuyler. I will not sing it because I don't think anyone wants that. So it goes, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. And when I meet Thomas Jefferson, I'm compelled to include women in the sequel." Work. The next quote I have is from Emma Watson. Emma is a great advocate for feminism and women's rights and equality, and I just love all of her work. She has many great quotes, but I restricted myself to just one. So from Emma Watson, "Feminism is not about us convincing you that gender equality is worth engaging in only because there might be something in it for you, or in it for your sister or your mother. The question is, what's in it for humans? Louder for those in the back, feminism is for everyone. Next, I have 2 quotes from Roxane Gay. She is an essayist. She has several books out. So the first quote I have from Roxane is, "It's hard not to feel humorless as a woman and a feminist, to recognize misogyny in so many forms, some great and some small. And no, you're not imagining things. It's hard to be told to lighten up, because if you lighten up anymore, you're going to float the fuck away. The problem is not that one of these things is happening. It's that they are all happening, concurrently and constantly." This one is so true, especially the lighten up bit. I feel like most feminists, when they try to talk about it with sometimes anyone, even if it's another woman who just isn't a feminist, but especially men, they're told, you know, this isn't something that's affecting you every single day. You already have equal rights. Good to go. But the thing is, it is happening every day. Even if it's not happening specifically to me every day or to the person I'm talking to every day, it's happening to someone every day, and that sucks. And that's not to say that you constantly have to be talking about it or thinking about it, but we probably should be thinking about it sometimes. My next quote from Roxane Gay is, "Some women being empowered does not prove that the patriarchy is dead. It proves that some of us are lucky." I am happy to report that I am one of the very lucky ones. I've very little experience with harassment of any sort. I have a great job. I'm pretty good to go. So, you know, like, when this gets brought up to a guy, he'll usually say, "You have more rights than me," which is extra annoying, but I don't. I'm lucky. I'm very privileged, but that's despite being a woman. My next quote is from Ellen Page. It goes, "I don't know why people are so reluctant to say they're feminists. Could it be any more obvious we still live in a patriarchal world when feminism is a bad word?" I think that one speaks for itself. My next one is from Amy Poehler, and it goes, "That is the motto women should constantly repeat over and over again. Good for her, not for me." I think this is a motto that everyone needs to repeat constantly, over and over. I lied, I have 2 Emma Watson quotes. So the next one is, "If I asked a young boy what superhero they looked up to, I feel a lot fewer would say a female one, or would ever use an example of a female one, than in the reverse, which is a shame. We need a culture that values and respects and looks up to and idolizes women as much as men." And I feel like this is a place where boys kind of get the short end of the stick. Growing up, girls can read whatever they want. They can read Harry Potter, or they can read Nancy Drew. But I feel like boys kind of feel like they'll be made fun of if they try to read a girl book. There are no boy books. We all read them. For some reason, half of us aren't allowed to read so many books just because the main character's a girl. And then we wonder why boys grow up and don't empathize with women as much as they maybe should. Books teach us empathy. They teach us to see through other people's eyes. That's one of the main points of books. So what good are they doing if we're only reading through the eyes of characters who are like us? Shannon Hale, the author of Princess Academy, has a wonderful article about this, which I will link down below. So that was some of my favorite feminist quotes. I will be doing feminist themed videos all month for Women's History Month, so I hope you will watch those. And thanks for watching this one. Remember, words matter.